Alright, so M3 lead time. For some good matchmaking. I like this tank though, it's fun. I'm not surprised, Deep. That happens too often. That's why I don't even know what the hell my win rate is, or win rate 8 is, to be honest. Like, you know, you can check it from now and then, but some people obsess over it. Like, it's a game. It doesn't matter. Like, have fun, you know, to do well. Sure, you know, that brings joy to a lot of people playing World of Tanks. But if you obsess too much over a made up number, just focus on wins. Focus on dealing like damage relative to your tank or assist damage, and like minimizing mistakes. Just base it off of that. Usually you can feel when you're doing good or feel when you're doing bad, to where, you know, the whole metric stuff, it just, to me, it just breeds negativity. Like, it's a good reference point, but don't take it as like gospel or something. But yeah, people do that all the time. Well, thank you, Dean. Now I know. I can't lie now. But basically, like, you know, people, like, throughout all the years I've seen, like, people play just, like, re-rolls, you know, people call them, but, like, even outside of that, you see people talking to forums, Reddit, so on and so forth in game. They'll play, like, certain tanks just to pad win rate 8. Like, it might not be, like, their favorite tank to play, but if you can pad win rate 8, like, let's have at it. To me, why play the game? Like, it doesn't get you anything, you know? I don't know. But I guess, you know, people play for different reasons. Just some of the more frustrated, angry people I've met throughout the years have been a little too obsessed about stats. What's wrong with this tank? I love the M3 Lee. It's definitely hard for new players, given that it's more TD-ish than medium, but the gun's awesome. Like, in matches like this, when, you know, you're bottom tier, every tier 4 struggles. But, you know, as long as you play it like a TD, you tend to do pretty well with the gun on this thing. Just matches like this, if I get spotted and or breathed on, I'm pretty much dead. But, again, every tier 4 suffers from that. Luckily, my team's giving me a little breathing room. Oh, I know. There's that factor, yes. These two little cupolas, you get spotted early. We'll see, like, as far as win rate 8 values and stuff, like, say, what, 2,600 compared to 1,000? It still comes down to how much do people enjoy the game. The amount of people I see that, you know, they rage over if, like, their win rate 8 drops a little bit, it's way too high to where, you know, just enjoy the game and have fun. You know, definitely look at it to where you can learn what you're doing right or wrong in certain tanks. But yeah, definitely don't put too much weight in it. No, I know, M3 Lee, it's got a lot going for it. It's just people tend to beat up on it because, you know, I hated this tank when I first played it, I won't lie. Like, granted, that was a very long time ago, but as long as you can play it like a TD, it works really darn well. And even in matches like this, again, like, your gun pretty much, you don't feel like you're in a tier 4 in a tier 6 fight, or even if you're against like things with armor, like your premium round does still stack up a bit, or if you have a little bit of HE, you at least kind of tickle them to death. Someone mad is on my team? Oh, I thought you were saying my team here. So far though, pretty good fight, 1,000 damage. You basically just ooze out damage in this thing if you don't die. So play it like a TD. So this doesn't really have a turret. You know, the gun doesn't move left and right much. So don't get too close up in the fight to begin with, unless like you're top tier and you can kind of prevent yourself from getting flanked. So say if you have a lot of teammates around you. But just try to play a little bit safer. So basically somewhere like in this area or this area respective to like your V range, and then like advance up as you know where the enemies are. It's just low tier matches, your HP does not go far at all. So if you're not top tier in this thing, and even if you are, just don't push out too much, like too early, because you die in a blink of an eye. Granted, you kill things in a blink of an eye too. Excuse me, but you know it's basically just keep your gun in the game because your gun's awesome, and don't get flanked. Like I might die cresting here, especially because I guess bounced. Should be able to get another shot though. But yeah, it's mainly play like a TD is don't like rush in like a medium or a light using a turret. You know, you're just gonna look stupid if you try to play too aggressive in this. The guy I destroyed earlier, the Cromwell, he probably was a little mad. Especially like the M3 lead, like pointing out, it doesn't crest over hills well because of the two cupolas. But you can definitely wreck people with this thing. Ace tanker, honestly like the easiest ace tanker I've ever gotten. High caliber award. You know, it's a fun little tank. The only thing against it, it's classified as a medium. Technically it's like a TD. But as long as you take that in mind, you will definitely have some fun fights in this thing.